The Zillman Art Museum presents Studio Sessions, a virtual hands-on art-making lesson with Senior Museum Educator Kat Johnson. Hello and welcome. My name is Kat, and I'll be walking you through today's lesson of Studio Sessions, creating 3 origami shapes. Through this process, we will use everyday household items to create a unique piece of art. We will begin with a brief history on origami and its techniques, go over the materials list, then work through the lesson step by step together to create finished paper shapes out of decorated paper. Feel free to pause the video at any time to prepare your materials, set up your workstation, or stretch your legs. So what do you say? Let's make some art. Composed of the Japanese words oru, to fold, and kami, paper, origami has a rich and diverse history that crosses cultures, class, and geography. Paper was invented in China around 105 AD and was brought by the monks to Japan in the 6th century. Handmade paper was a rare luxury item and therefore was only available to a select few as it was strictly used for religious or ceremonial purposes. During the Edo period in Japan, 1603 to 1868 AD, paper folding had become a recreational pastime and featured multiple cuts and folds. As mass-produced paper became more readily available and therefore affordable, origami became regarded as a new art form. The first written instructions were published in 1797 with Akisato Rito's Sembarazuru Orikata, or Thousand Crane Folding. More involved instructional guides followed, and by the late 1800s, the term for paper folding had morphed from orikata, folded shapes, to origami. For this lesson, you will need various pens, markers, or colored pencils. Use whatever you have on hand, as we will use these to decorate our origami paper. Paper. Any kind will do, but be sure that it's lightweight and at least 8 inches by 8 inches, both of which will make it easier to fold. A pencil, to mark the line to cut your paper. And scissors, to cut your paper into a square. Take a moment to gather the items you need to join in on the art making. Let's get started. We will be making 3 different shapes during this tutorial. For the first 2, you will need 1 sheet of paper, and for the last shape, you will need 2. So gather 4 sheets of paper to prepare for our origami projects. We will begin by creating our origami paper, but if you already have traditional paper on hand, you may skip this section. Here I have 4 standard blank sheets of computer paper. You can make origami from any paper, but the thinner it is, the easier it will be to fold. To begin, we need to make each of these sheets a square. All origami begins with a square sheet, so let's create that now. Begin by moving the shorter of the edges parallel to the edge of the workstation closest to you. Here is the closest edge of my workstation, so I'll move the short end parallel, like so. Take the right-hand corner of the short edge and bring it to meet the long edge. Hold the corner there while you work to align the short and long edges. You want to be as precise and careful as possible. The neater you are, the straighter our finished square will be, and the better our final image will turn out. Once the edges are aligned, crease a diagonal line, creating a triangle from the lower left corner to the long edge on the right side. Be sure these edges meet up closely, and if not, refold. Now we need to remove the excess. Begin this process by grabbing your pencil. We need to mark a line to cut. Hold down the top of the paper at the edge here and drag the pencil across the line to mark our square. Unfold the triangle. Now you can see our square. Using the line as a guide, trim at the mark to remove the excess. Voila! Now you have your square. Let's decorate it. Most origami paper has a plain side and a decorative side. Let's take the time now to use our markers, crayons, etc. to create fun colors and shapes on one side. Whatever you design is up to you, just be sure it goes to the edge. There, now let's begin. We'll start with the easiest project first and progressively make more complex shapes as we go along. The first is the cup. Begin with the color side face down and turn it so a corner points to you, like a diamond. Fold paper in half by folding the bottom corner to the top corner. Fold the left edge of the triangle to the bottom edge, then unfold. We only need to crease the line. open. Fold the left corner of the triangle to the end of the crease line on the right. Fold the right corner to the left corner. Fold the top flap down. Turn the paper over. Again, fold the top flap down. Turn the paper over again. Open up the pocket. Voila! You've made a cup. Next up is the fox. Begin with the color side face down and turn it so a corner points to you like a diamond. Fold paper in half by folding the bottom corner to the top corner, crease, and open. Fold paper again in half, this time from left to right. With the paper in half, like a triangle pointing to the right, fold both points to meet the center line. Pick up the paper and take the top half of the diamond and fold it backward in half, meeting the other half from behind. Lay flat. Open the first of the right corners back to the left at an angle and flatten. Grab the middle right corner at the tip and fold it down to the center line you just created. At about a third of the way along the long edge, fold the left-hand corner in along the bottom edge. Take a pen and marker and make a nose and eyes for the fox face. And ta-da! You made a fox! Finally, the tulip. For this shape, you'll need 2 sheets of prepped origami paper. We'll begin with the flower part, then move on to the stem. Start with a square piece of origami paper, white side up. Fold the left corner to the lower right corner, then unfold. Fold the upper right corner to the lower left corner, then unfold. Fold the top half backwards, then unfold. Poke the center of the paper and make it pop in. Bring the left and right creases to the center, and the paper should collapse into a triangle. Fold the left and right corners to the top corner. Turn the figure over. Repeat this step on this side, folding the side corners to the top corner. Fold only the top layer of the right side over to the left. Turn over. Once again, fold only the top layer of the right side over the left. Using only the top layers, insert the right flap all the way into the left flap. Before flattening, make sure the folded creases at the bottom of the flaps are the same height and not uneven. Turn the figure over. Once again, insert the right flap all the way into the left flap and flatten. Pick up the tulip from the bottom and spread it like so. This will make it easier for you to blow into. You can see that there is a tiny hole in the center. Holding the paper like this, blow into that hole with your breath until it puffs open. The final result should look like this. One at a time, peel the petals down, like so, but be careful not to loosen the flaps that you tucked in earlier. Hooray! You've completed the flower. Now let's make the stem. Start with your origami paper white side up. Fold the left corner to the right corner, then unfold. Fold the upper left and right edges to the center. Fold the lower left and right edges to the center. Once again, fold the lower left and right edges to the center. Turn the figure over. Fold the bottom corner to the top corner. Fold the figure in half by folding the left side over to the right. Peel the leaf on the left side back and outside reverse fold it. Place the flower on top of the stem. You're done! You've made a tulip. Here are all of our original origami works together. I had a lot of fun making them, and I hope you did too. While you have your supplies out, I encourage you to rewind the video and try it again, as your work will only get better with practice. You can make multiple foxes to create a skulk of foxes, or many more flowers to create a garden of tulips. Remember, origami takes time and precision, so be kind to yourself as you try out this new medium. For more information on all of the educational offerings at ZAM, please visit our website, zam.umaine.edu. Thank you for watching this video from the Zillman Art Museum, Maine's museum for modern and contemporary art.